Hey everybody, this is Michael Wincoc, Wincott, and you're listening to Cinemattraction. Hey everybody, and welcome to Cinemattraction. I'm Heat Guy Jay, and next to me is Cold to the Bone.
Jean jacket.
Jean jacket, it is. Can I ask you a question, John?
Certainly.
Why are you dressed like a horse today?
This is body paint. Basically just sitting in naked. What have you been watching this week?
I have been watching the new Evil Dead film with you.
Yeah, we saw it together. What did you think
did.
of Evil Dead Rise?
I thought it was quite good. I don't know. I think I'm going to have to watch it again a
did.
few more times. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to watch it a few more times to really
it was great.
make my mind up about it.
Okay.
It was, from my first initial watch, it was okay.
Okay.
I thought it was good, and I liked a lot of the stuff to do with it, and I liked the fact that there was they mixed children into it this time, which I thought was quite good.
It, yeah.
And also they used like a...
And the little kid is great.
Yeah.
Like the littlest kid, rather, is great.
Also, there's they've got the solitariness of the building, so
Yes.
they're kind of
So
still
it's
isolated,
cabinet.
isn't it?
Yeah, and there is
still
a cabin
isolated.
at the beginning as well.
I just wish there was another Ash. I just wish they would recast an Ash.
How could you recast Bruce Campbell?
Well, you can't, but there needs to be an Ash character because I just feel like
You don't
it's
think Ellie
lost.
was...
No, I think it's lost without. I mean, she was very nice looking, but better looking than Bruce Campbell. Sorry.
Whoa. What?
More my kind of.
The actor playing Ellie is gorgeous, but
Yes.
nobody is as gorgeous as...
I thought the one that was playing Beth was very attractive as well.
She had a sissy space. It's the first time I've ever seen her in anything.
The other one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She has a very... I think I said this in the car.
Yeah, very-
She has a sissy spacek quality to her. And she's a fantastic actor. It's the
Yeah.
first time I've ever seen... She's an Australian actor. It's the first
She's
time I've ever seen her.
she's very attractive in an unusual way as well. You know, a bit like Anya Taylor-Joy. She's got this look about her that's kind of like, it's attractive, but it's an unusual, offbeat,
Mystical
a
attraction.
mystical attractiveness. Yes. So I thought that was. I think it has the most amazing title card at the beginning, opening title card, where the Deadite rises up out of the war and it says behind it, Evil Dead Rise.
Dead Rise.
I thought that was brilliant.
So I saw it again last night,
Yes.
and saw it at a different cinema. I saw it at the Odeon. So we saw it originally at the View. We saw it at Odeon last night. And just this will appeal to absolutely nobody, but it's a lesser experience at the Odeon.
Lesser?
Because the sound system, the sound design in Evil Dead Rise is amazing,
Brilliant.
and I
Yeah.
hope it wins an Oscar. Can you
Yeah,
imagine
a
this
lot of
film,
people are saying the sound design's wonderful.
Can you imagine this film winning an Oscar?
A
I
quiet
hope it does,
Oscar.
because it's really, 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 really good. But the sound quality at the Odeon is
Not the same.
nothing like it. The
Right.
squelches and the
Yeah.
tears and the scrapes and the screams, and it's just it's fantastic.
It's quite an intense film, isn't it?
It is.
I mean, I think it's the sort of film that if you're thinking about seeing it, perhaps prepare yourself with the other films before you go into seeing this.
Yeah, I
because
did.
I think but you knew what you were going into. I'm talking about just people that don't know, like any franchise, like maybe Alien or something. You know, if you haven't seen an Alien film, make sure you're prepared to see what it is, so that you're not
that's a good point.
kind of in the cinema, kind of going, right, okay, I think I need to leave now because I wasn't prepared for this.
What I really liked about this one is, much like Scream 6 that was released earlier this year, there's a real sort of 80s splatter slasher throwback vibe to that film and to this film as well.
Right.
I'm so glad that we're seeing the beginning of a renaissance.
Yeah.
Perhaps started with Ty West's X, which has a similar sort of
Right.
nastiness to it.
It does, doesn't it?
Sort of
Yeah, it's
cartoonish nastiness, which
quite an
obviously is in
uncomfortable
Scream 6
film,
as well.
X, I thought. Didn't like that film very
Really
much.
looking forward to seeing Pearl. That's coming at the end next month, I think. But really, if it is the start, if this is the start of that kind of renaissance,
I just like to see an Ash, because I'd like to see
Sure.
somebody come in who's
I
like
liked it for what it was.
weary and kind of like, oh yeah, okay, I know how to deal with these guys. Right. Okay, just step aside. You know?
Sure. I liked it from the perspective that I think you could see this. You don't think you necessarily need to have seen all the other movies to see this one, because it does set up nasty book,
Yeah.
nasty, isolated location.
Oh, I don't think you need to see any of the other films.
I think it stands alone.
It does.
If you hadn't seen the other ones, it's perfectly
Yeah.
fine to go into this one. And if you did enjoy this one, 100% go back into
And I think if
these
this film
Sam
was
Raimi movies.
I think if this was the first one of its kind, I think there would be a lot of buzz about it.
Yeah, for sure. I
Because
think it works on its own merits.
quite horrific,
personally.
you know, if you haven't seen like the other ones.
Yeah, it works on its own merits. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I don't think you need to have seen the other ones.
No.
And it's a really good Evil Dead movie.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah. Have you been watching anything else? I haven't really. No, I haven't.
I've been playing Super Castlevania on the emulator. I've been playing that. I've really enjoyed that. This is our 25th episode.
Is it really?
It's our 25th.
Oh!
So happy 25th.
Yeah, happy 25th, everybody.
Get Out is a 2017 psychological thriller written and directed by Jordan Peele in his directorial debut. Starring Daniel Kaluuya.
Not Daniel Kaluuya?
There we are. Alison Williams, Lil Rel, your boy Lakeith.
Lakeith!
Bradley Whitford, Catherine Keener, Caleb Landry Jones, and Stephen Root, among others. A critical and commercial success, taking $124 million reduce from a $5 million reduce budget, which is massive.
Yeah.
Launching the careers of Daniel Kaluuya and Alison Williams while earning Jordan Peele the Best Original Screenplay Oscar. We meet Chris, a skilled young black photographer from Brooklyn, who is preparing to take a trip upstate to meet the parents of his white girlfriend named Rose. Chris displays apprehension, asking Rose whether her parents knows about their interracial relationship, which Rose brushes off, casually stating that her folks are not racist. The couple arrive at her parents' home, where they are greeted by the neurosurgeon father Dean, hypnotherapist's mother Missy, and Rose's creepy brother Jeremy. The family have a black housekeeper named Georgina, a black groundskeeper named Walter. Chris quickly notices Georgina and Walter acting very, very strangely. One night, Missy lures Chris into a hypnotherapy session to help him tackle his smoking problem, in which Chris descends into a mental physical void, I guess, called the sunken place.
The sunken place, yeah.
It's like a void. Anyway,
It's like a compartment in the back of your mind where you're stuck.
yeah. And Chris opens up about his life and the guilt he feels for his mother's death. The family throw a great big annual party for their old white friends, and members of the party remark about Chris's lovely physical attributes, namely aging art dealer Jim, who is going blind. Chris meets Logan, another young black man who is married to an elderly old bag.
Lakeith!
Your boy Lakeith. Chris recognises Logan but can't quite place him. Chris calls his friend, an airport security officer named Rod, about the strange things going on and about Logan. Logan is acting strangely and kicks off when Chris tries to sort of secretly take a photo of him, shouting at Chris to get out. Logan is restrained and asks Rose if they can leave. He wants out. The guests have a big old game of bingo with sinister consequences, with Jim ultimately winning. Rod comes back with info on Logan, who turns out to be a young missing man from Brooklyn. Things are really clearly not right. Rod brings the concerns about Logan to the police while Chris plots to escape, only to be tackled and placed under hypnosis by Missy. Turns out the family are kidnapping the bodies of fit young people and installing the minds of their craggy old friends into them. The housekeeper, the groundskeeper, and Logan are all victims of this. Rose finds a target. Jeremy restrains them. Missy hypnotizes them. Dean switches the old brain boxes. And it turns out that Chris is next.
Yes, yeah.
So that blind old Jim can have a lovely new set of peepers. Good old Rod comes to the rescue. What do you think of Get Out?
Well, all I'm going to say is...
Was that a good synopsis?
That was a good synopsis.
Thank you.
Well, the thing is, it's quite
quite
a
a long one.
convoluted... It's quite a convoluted film because you go into it watching it from a certain point of view that you think you're watching it, and then it just turns itself while you're watching it, you know, kind of like, it's almost ridiculous in the way that it is.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it starts off very serious and
Yeah.
then goes into being really quite weird and ridiculous, as I said.
Yeah.
One word, sex slave. Well, actually, that's two. That's two, but...
Lakeith.
I mean, come on, his boy, he had it right, TSA. He's got the TSA training.
Yeah, yeah.
He knew straight away sex slaves.
This was some weird cult.
Some weird cult
Yeah.
that are turning, you know, these young black people into sex slaves for these old suburban
That is
white folks.
absolutely the case for one of the people. It's certainly the case for Lakeith Stone.
Talking about Lakeith, I think this was the first film I ever saw with him in.
I hope nobody's diddling Georgina, for instance.
It wasn't until I saw him in Atlanta
Yeah.
that I really fell in
show.
love with him.
Fantastic show.
Yeah,
by
I
the way.
really fell in love with him after
Definitely.
that. I think it's a really good film. I think it's a very interesting film.
Certainly.
I think it doesn't really matter how many times you've watched it
Mm-hmm.
because the ending, even though you know what the ending is, it's still quite interesting.
Sure.
You know, so it does have rewatch value, I think.
Oh, absolutely. Speaking about the ending, sorry, carry on.
Yeah. No, just that I think it has rewatch value. For me, I got to say that Caleb Laundry Jones is the guy for me that makes this film. He is so sleazy.
He's creepy.
And horrible.
Awful.
And
But look where he's
I mean,
coming
like
from.
the first season, season.
First scene.
The first scene you basically see him in, he's drunk. He's sitting there with wine, drunk, going, "Hey, Chris, you ever watch any of that Ultimate Fighting?
Right, UFC.
Yeah, the UFC stuff and all that, isn't he? Or what's it, MMA, isn't it?
MMA.
Yeah, and he wants to tackle him and all this, you know. I think he's horrible.
Right.
He really plays that role fantastically.
Is he just trying to size Chris up?
I think he's trying to size him up.
You know what he then has
but
to do
also, I
later
think
in the
he's
movie.
playing with him a bit like a lion plays with its food.
Sure.
He knows what's going to happen to Chris.
He knows what's coming
So he's
up.
just having fun.
He's just
toying with him until he...
Yeah, I think he's asking you. I think that's a bit of a loaded question. Are you into these things? Because it's a case of, do you know how to handle yourself?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to have to...
Yeah.
We're going to have to go toe to toe at some point.
Yeah. By the way, that's not his middle name, Laundry.
I gathered.
But I want it to be Laundry.
What is his name now?
It is.
So if you're listening to this, Caleb.
I love the strange and creepy exchange between Danny and Walter
Okay.
in the garden, where he's, you know, where he says, "Oh, I'm so sorry that I frightened you.
'cause
I was doing my exercise."
He's an old man.
Yeah, I know.
So he's going to speak like an old man.
I know.
Yeah, but it is really, really unusual. There's a sort of Shyamalan aspect to this.
There
where
is.
Not everything is quite as...
Yeah.
There's certainly a Hitchcock aspect to
Yeah,
this.
and there's what's her name, the housekeeper as well.
Yes, Georgina.
Georgina, and that bit where she goes, "Oh no,
Oh, no.
no,
Yeah,
no,
'cause
no,
she's
no,
an
no,
old lady.
no, 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 no,
Yeah,
no."
yeah. So they're basically Dean's parents, but
Yeah.
he's brain swapped.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So basically, this film is about taking young, healthy black people and turning them into mindless zombies for white people to live on. Like it's about eternal life, really, isn't it? Trying to
There's
capture
that
eternal
aspect
life,
to it. Yeah.
and a cult, which I don't really understand about.
Sure, there's certainly a cult. Yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah,
It's very complex, and I think Jordan Peele explores various levels of racism. I think racism is the key point here.
oh yeah,
So,
definitely.
From the overt side, such as when they encounter the bigoted policeman, because there's a
Yes.
deer that runs out in front of the car.
That's right, and the deer's very important to this film
deer
that
is
I didn't realise.
Indeed.
The first watch.
Indeed.
Um,
And the thing about so there's the bigoted policeman. That's a very overt form of racism. But there's a thing about Rose's family is that they are upper sort of middle class white liberals.
Yeah.
Dean says he would have voted for Obama for a third term if he could have. These aren't the KKK rednecks or Nazi punks that you would typically...
Yeah, you'd expect.
Yeah, these are white middle class liberals. This family and their community are pure evil.
Yeah, but they're not actually racist because they actually want to
No,
be
they are.
black.
Well, it is. It's ignorance and arrogance.
Right.
That's the point.
Okay.
Yeah, it's their blind ignorance and arrogance that does it.
They think that they can use black people to further their life.
Well, I
sort of
mean,
thing,
if you
isn't
think
it?
about it, so their victims are selected for their physical attributes.
Yes.
They are pulled in. They are exploited. It is slavery.
Basically, basically, it's
anybody
doing
that's selected for a specific thing, pulled in and exploited is.
And why are they not using healthy young white people?
Well, exactly. But then there's that angle, which of missing persons, perhaps.
Yeah.
I kind of wondered about this actually because
What do you mean? Maybe they don't care as much about
how many missing black persons garner media attention as opposed to white missing persons.
Oh, that's very true. I mean, this is quite,
I believe that your socioeconomic background kind of makes a difference in that regard.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, I think it does. If you look at, I presume people listening to us all know about Madeleine McCann, and that why was she the one little girl out of the whole world that the media paid attention to when there are millions of children probably go missing?
Well, millions of people that are trafficked and things like that from...
But if you think about it, her parents were very well-to-do people, doctors. I don't know anything about her parents. Her parents are doctors.
Okay, I didn't know.
So maybe they garnered that because of their status, rather than he wasn't. Her father wasn't just a farmer.
Right. If you've come into a place, like a migrant or something like that, has come into the place and you've been trafficked or something like that, and your kid goes missing, you're not going to get any lick of attention.
No.
I don't. You're going to get. I think you're going to get.
I think Jordan Peele is bringing up a lot of.
I think so.
A lot of issues. A lot of things that are. People feel uncomfortable about speaking about, probably.
I think he's drawing from his own experiences.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah. I do like, as I said, we were talking about the deer. I like the fact that Chris kills the father with the mounted deer head. With the mounted deer head.
With the antler.
With the antlers off the deer head. Sure. And the thing is, he kept going on about, thank you for killing, I hate deers and all that. And he got killed by a deer that wasn't even alive.
Sure. I think we've already said Hitchcockian already. It's the most Hitchcockian psychological thriller I've seen for quite some time.
It is, yeah.
Jordan Peele treads very carefully.
I think you have to.
And certainly in the way in which he twists and ratchets the tension of the film.
Yeah.
And how he distorts, much like Hitchcock, how he distorts your expectations within the film.
Yeah.
He's expressing his insights and his feelings in this film as well.
Yeah.
There is no happily ever after.
No.
I feel it's the things that he brings up in it is more of a call to explore and communicate. There isn't a definitive, this is what we should do.
Well, I'm going to be honest. The first time I watched this film, the way that
when did you first see this film?
I saw this with you. Yes, I saw this with you in 2017, maybe.
It would have been
17.
Yeah, okay. I can't remember seeing this at the cinema.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
We
Good.
did.
Cool.
But I originally thought it was probably going to end with Chris going to prison. That's exactly how I thought it was going to end.
Yeah. So Lil Rel is Rod is the MVP of the
whole thing. He definitely is. He definitely is.
He completely believes his dear friend Chris. He winds up saving the day. Again, Jordan Peele, as you were just about to allude to, I think Jordan Peele distorts your expectations because you, having watched something like Night of the Living Dead, where the brilliant central character who is a black man gets wound up killed, shot by the authorities or whatever. You're kind of expecting that because
you were expecting him to be arrested because he killed a white family.
When the police car comes up, and you've got Rose covered in blood, and you've got him standing there, you think,
that was the end,
God, this is going to be a horrible ending, and it turns out to be Rod.
Yeah. So it is in a way a happier ending.
Sure,
really.
I suppose there is a happily ever after.
And also we've got the subject of trauma and loss with Chris, with his mum.
Yeah.
He's haunted by the fact that his mum laid there hit by a car, and he did nothing. Yeah. He basically says, well, if I'd got on a phone and phoned somebody, then maybe my mother would have been saved and she could have been rushed to hospital, and so he's carrying that trauma with him as well.
Such a burden.
Yeah, he really is carrying that too. And I really feel sorry for his character, Daniel Kaluuya's character in this, because he's got this traumatic background, and then he goes into this relationship with this girl, and he's got some more trauma to take with him. I mean, let's face it, he's never going to get in another relationship again, is he?
Yeah.
And if he does, he's going to make sure that his best friend makes sure that he gets him a nice black girl.
I think they both better do like a background check.
They're going to do a background check, and she's going to be a nice black girl.
Well, they'll have to do a background check.
From a Brooklyn neighbourhood, hopefully, and not a psychotic white girl from a...
So what do you think about Rose then?
She's not my cup of tea.
Fascinating character, though.
She wouldn't... But let's say this way. She wouldn't have dragged me into her thingy, into her brain-swapping thing, because I don't like her personally. Oh. I don't find anything about her particularly attractive.
I think she's gorgeous.
I don't think she's gorgeous. I'll tell you who I do think is gorgeous. Catherine Keener.
Yeah, well,
I think she's wonderful.
Well, we can only agree. Catherine
I've
Keener.
not seen what Catherine Keener looks like as a younger woman, but she has got something about her. There's something about her eyes that she's got a certain beauty about it, like a certain attractiveness about her.
Yeah, she's gorgeous.
Yeah,
and she does have gorgeous eyes.
And she is a.
Have you ever seen Being John Malkovich?
No.
We'll have to do an episode on that because not only is she obviously gorgeous in that, but she's fantastic in that film.
She's a really good actress.
She's a very good actress.
I mean, I would say she's probably one of the best performances in this, next to Danny Kaye, obviously.
Danny Kaye. Does a little song and a dance.
This is the guy that we have over here. I'm talking to our international viewers here. Over here at the View Cinema, we have a soundbite that comes up before the cinema starts, before the film starts, of Daniel Kaluuya telling everybody, please be quiet.
Please turn off your phone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just before the movie begins, just after the trailers and off the adverts, there's a Daniel Kaluuya comes up in pure pitch black.
We have an Oscar winner, an Oscar-winning actor telling us to please be quiet because there's some people that can't be quiet at the cinema.
It's usually us as well. It used to be Mark Strong, right? And
it was
Mark. Like, boo!
Boo, yeah.
Right in pitch blackness. So, but anyway, just
we're tangenting again.
Anyway, just to get it back to Rose, I think Jordan Peele very cleverly
Rose
twists
is a sociopath, isn't she?
Well, much like Hitchcock, he twists it. So he takes the sweet, non-racist at the beginning girl and completely flips her out.
She's literally so cold
and makes her pure evil. I think she's pure evil. I don't know if she's. She is coloured by her upbringing in that household. But I think she's pure evil.
I think she's worse than her brother.
Oh, she's horrible. Yeah,
you know what?
She and her brother are horrible.
Her brother, he is horrible.
But he's overtly horrible.
The thing is, he shows that he's horrible.
He's overtly horrible.
Yeah, where she's not. She's just cold and calculating. And
she's got pictures of the people that she...
Yeah, like trophies.
Like pictures, like they are like hunting trophies or something or other.
Yeah, I think she's totally...
Sadistic
and socio-maniacal, I think you could use, could you? Yeah, there you go.
A little bit turned on there. What do you... we'll talk about Daniel Kaluuya in a second, if you wish. But I find Jim, the blind lad, the lad that's going really interesting because
he's a famous actor, isn't he?
Stephen Root.
Yeah,
have you ever seen Office Space?
No.
Dead Mate Diebler. He's amazing.
I've seen him in a lot of things, though. I know I've seen him in a lot of things.
He turns up in stuff, and he usually makes the movie 10% better.
Yes.
Have you ever seen him in what do you call it? Oh Brother Where Art Thou as well, where he's the blind old. He plays blind people a lot.
I have seen Oh Brother Where Art Thou, but I don't remember him in it.
Yeah, so he's blind to what is going on around him.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
But is nevertheless complicit to the slavery, to the exploitation.
Yeah, but I don't think he's exactly the same because he doesn't really care whether Chris is is hench.
He's blind to it, but he's still complicit to it.
The only thing he wants is eyes. He wants to see.
Well, that is I think that's my point. Jim's motivation is to be an artist, I suppose, right?
No, he wants to see the photos, doesn't he? Because he's a gallery dealer, isn't he?
Sure. I think he wants to be an artist, though. I think an artist does.
You think he wants to be the photographer?
I think he wants that.
Yeah.
And he uses Chris, a very, very skilled black artist, to get to that goal. And then
again, don't you think all people are like this? Because you see somebody, for example, I play bass.
Sure.
I can see somebody else play bass, and I can think, I can't play like that.
Well, I've heard you play bass. You are fantastic.
I mean, yeah, I think I'm a pretty decent bass player, but I still think
you're very modest.
But I still think that you see other, you know what I mean? I'm sure you see artists that you think, I wish I could paint like that.
I could never.
And I see you, and I think I wish I could paint like that. And I think,
I could never paint like Edward Hopper.
No, I think we all see. We don't see our own achievements so much as we see other people's, and we say we want that, don't we?
Sure, but to get I think Jim is seeing Chris. And I might be reading way too much into it, but I don't think... I think Jordan Peele is quite savvy to it because you could possibly read Elvis cultural appropriation parallels with that. So Elvis was a white artist who exploited black art and culture, right? Yeah. Much as Eminem I think did as well.
Yes, he did.
I think that cultural appropriation angle is being explored through that character.
Right.
Do you?
I think so. Yeah, it could be.
Okay.
It could be.
What do you think of the score?
I think it's very fitting. Yeah. I can't say that there's anything particularly memorable.
Okay, we were talking about Evil Dead Rise at the beginning with their sound design.
Oh, that sound design is brilliant.
Teaspoon against.
Oh, the teaspoon is great. Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Oh, I mean that's become monkey paw, isn't it? That's become Jordan Peele's logo
his
of
logo.
the monkey paw stirring the.
Yeah. I think the sunken place. It is the sunken place, right?
Yeah, the sunken place. Yeah,
really well designed.
it is.
That's really memorable.
Looks good. Yeah, it looks really good, and it does. I suppose it does give you that sense of falling away, because that's basically what they're trying to do. They're trying to make the I suppose like the prominent personality fall away.
Yeah.
So that they can replace it with
the new ego.
The new. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think of the costumes as well? Because I think Dean looks like Steve Jobs, who's the ultimate like upper middle class white guy.
Yeah.
And I think Rose deceives in her pastel garbs, and I think that there's a
yeah, because Rosie's clothes are very different when she's sitting on the computer, when she's being cold, and she's got like the tank top thing on, or polo neck.
Yeah.
It's white, and also her makeup looks slightly different to give her another cold look.
Does it?
Yeah.
Didn't notice that.
Yeah, when she's sitting and she's looking at the computer.
Yeah.
The screen flickering back at her gives her a very cold, like very bluish, almost icy look.
Yeah, cold.
Yeah, really cold, icy look to reflect really what her soul is like, what her personality and her soul is like. The lighting I was going to mention, which I don't notice this very often in films.
Okay.
I'm not like you. I don't necessarily. I think it's a fantastically lit film.
It's beautiful.
Daniel Kaluuya. Sorry, I'm really going to apologise about this.
It's okay.
I call him Daniel Kaluuya because I don't want to keep mispronouncing his name. And also Kahlua is one of my favourite drinks. Some of the bits in the dark where you see when you see him lit, I think is brilliant. The way that he's lit, because we've talked about this before, like films like Boomerang, where you get black actors and they're horribly lit.
Yeah. So what's your verdict? Do you have?
I think it's fantastic. I think it's a great film. Is it big?
I think it's big.
It's a 4-star, isn't it?
It's big.
It's big! This movie is big! It's big!
We don't need to put the Chris Eubank soundtrack.
We're
big! Do you have any recommendations?
I would say Hitchcock.
Anything Hitchcock, I think. Yeah, I think Peele just nails Hitchcock.
Yeah. Anything else by Jordan Peele? Because
I would say probably Jordan Peele's Us is equally great.
Yes.
I think Horror Noir is a good series available on Shudder,
right,
which offers a pretty thorough insight into black horror, basically.
Yeah.
I think Wicker Man and Midsummer, about how people
are
sort of lured in.
isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a cult sort of thing.
I think there's a good chance.
Yeah.
This person kind of getting swept into this horrific situation.
Yeah.
Nope is a science fiction horror film written and directed by Jordan Peele. The Hayward family run a successful horse training and handling business from their beautiful ranch, located in the endless wilds of the Agua Dulce, California. I don't know
where they are. Out in the middle of nowhere.
In the middle of nowhere. A beautiful big old ranch
Fields.
In the middle of California. I think it's Agua Dulce. One sunny day in which there is but one solitary cloud hanging in the sky, patriarch Otis Hayward Sr. is struck and killed by a coin fallen from the sky. 6 months passed and Otis Jr., or OJ, and his beautiful sister Emerald, or M, are fired from the set of a TV commercial when their horse, Lucky, freaks out at its own reflection on the set.
It's because of the ball, isn't it?
It's because
it's
of the ball.
The special effects ball thing,
yeah. And freaks out. OJ approaches Jupe, a former child actor turned Western-themed amusement park owner, about buying some of their horses. Jupe reveals that he's in fact exploiting a childhood trauma where a chimp caused grisly chaos on the set of the sitcom in which he appeared. The Haywards notice some sort of unusual activity around the ranch, with the electricity faltering and the horses getting slaughtered. The Haywards discover a UFO covertly lingering above their residence behind a cloud and move to capture the whole thing on camera. OJ and MC $signs, which would help save their faltering business, and they outfit the property with several security cameras, piquing the interest of an electrical store technician named Angel, who probably gets involved into the plot. But to no avail. It's a rather camera-shy thing and they can't capture it. They named the thing Jean Jacket.
Jean Jacket, yeah, after the horse, wasn't it?
And it becomes increasingly more violent and consumptive. Meanwhile, Jupe is exploiting Jean Jacket by making it an attraction at his theme park, offering and sacrificing the Hayward's beloved horses over to it.
Yeah.
OJ&M hire renowned cinematographer Antlers Holst.
Oh, yes,
What
okay.
a name that is.
Michael Wincott, we got him on the beginning.
It's so good
He
to see.
supports our
It's so good to
podcast.
see Michael. Yes.
So good to know that he supports the
Well, it's nice
the
to see
channel
Michael
and
Wincott in a massive film as
Yeah.
well. And he's a big fan of the show.
Yeah, I love him from The Crow. Love him in The Crow.
So they hire renowned cinematographer Atlas Holst to capture footage of the thing, which he duly accepts. OJM, Angel and Antlers ally and risk their lives to get a shot of it. Do you believe in aliens?
This is a weird question because in this solar system, no. In this universe, yes.
I think, yeah, there are billions,
Yes.
billions of stars.
I don't think there's any like proper life like ours in this solar system. Perhaps like microbe, like germs,
bacteria
germs or
stuff
something like
around in water, which is technically alien life.
Yeah. Okay, it is alien life. Okay, I do believe that, but I mean, like any like sentient life, like perhaps like ours. I hope to think there's a planet just like us sitting somewhere in the universe.
I think the odds of there are billions and billions and billions and billions of stars, which are suns, and around those stars planets orbit, and it's, I would say,
I hope there's a
quite
planet of dogs
likely.
somewhere.
Well, you know, there's a planet of dogs.
Oh, that'd be so mate. I'm booking my flight there. I just want to go. Although that planet is gonna be filled with dog poo, isn't it?
Because
there's going to be nobody to pick it up,
It's
is
going
there?
to really smell like wet dog.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
No one likes wet dog.
No. And who's going to bath the dogs?
Well,
Yeah.
they bath each other. That'd be a bit weird, wouldn't it?
There'd have to be a thing, wouldn't there? There'd have to be like a human or a caretaker person to look after all the dogs.
Caretaker dog.
Yeah. Or they're all like Wookiees, maybe. They're all
Do you
humanoid.
think during that time, though, if they've been allowed to sort of evolve on their own, that they're, they've got a class system,
Yeah, that'd be amazing,
they've
wouldn't
got a
it?
Woolworths,
Yeah.
something like that? Yes. So what do you think of Nope?
I'm going to give it the big nope.
Okay, why do you think that?
It's not my kind of film. It's a really well-made film, and I like a lot of the. I respect a lot of the things that Jordan Peele wants to bring up in it.
Sure.
But I'm not a great fan of films where the director or storyteller is trying to tell you something, but not in a direct way.
I think he's telling you in a very direct way.
Yeah, but that's not really, the film is not really about an alien, is it? It's not really about that. It's about cameras and surveillance and being watched and...
yeah, it's about that.
Yeah.
It's a story about spectacle and media consumption.
Yeah.
Smoke and mirrors.
Yeah. To me, I mean, the performances are good and everything, but it's just not my...
You didn't engage with it?
No, and I don't like chimpanzees. No, sorry, I really don't like chimpanzees.
Okay, I wasn't expecting that.
No,
Okay.
I don't. I don't like monkeys or chimpanzees.
Same things, aren't they?
I really don't. I don't like apes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So,
Planet of the
sorry
Apes.
for any of our ape listeners
lovers.
or ape listeners out there that might be, because there could be a Goldie out there listening. And
well, I know they're big fans of the show. That's such a weird thing. No Planet of the Apes episode. What?
Too many horses.
Too many horses. You don't like horses either?
No.
Okay. Wow, this just ticks so many boxes with you. I think it's messy. I think it's messy as hell.
Yeah.
The focus shifts around a lot.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I know you really like this film because you've watched it quite a few times.
I really do.
David Keith.
Again, I didn't know. I will agree with you that it's very, very messy. That it does switch its focus around its various themes a lot, and it does lose its momentum at times.
Yeah.
I will give you that. Whereas Get Out was punctuated by some glorious comedic moments, which ease the tension but also move the story along.
And I don't really characters.
It
in
doesn't
this one,
really happen here.
No, and the characters I don't really care about the characters in this film that much.
Fine.
Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
Like I do in Get Out. I don't want.
You love Chris.
I don't want Chris to get lobotomized. Do you know what I mean?
I don't want OJ or
I want to see Chris kill these people and get away from these awful
want to see
people.
Get Out. Yeah,
Get
that's
Out.
for sure.
In Nope, they could be anybody really.
Yeah,
You know.
Sure.
The angel character.
Not my favourite
He's
character.
got nothing really better to do than just hang out with them.
Yeah, okay.
You know, he's
Sure.
supposed to be at work. Although Michael Wincott, you can't say anything about him, can you?
Well, you can say that he's good.
Brilliant. Brilliant. You can't say anything about him. And he's willing to die.
You can say against him as well.
I'm not going to say anything against him.
Right.
He's willing to die for his art.
And technically.
And does.
Yeah, okay. So it's, as you said, it's a story about spectacle.
David Keith, though, very good.
Everyone loves David Keith.
Yeah, I love him as the voice of the cat in Coraline.
He gets...
He's amazing. I love seeing David Keith has got an amazing voice, though, hasn't he?
He certainly does.
He really
Have you
has.
seen There's Something About Mary?
Yes.
How'd you get the beans above the Frank?
I love that bit.
Franco Beans! Something About Mary episode coming then. We should do that, and Me, Myself and Irene as well.
Oh, yes. That's the one with Jim Carrey in, isn't
Carrey.
it? Yeah.
Both are just horrendous, but hilarious. Anyway, yeah, so it's about spectacle, it's about media consumption.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've also got something else to bring up. A
Oh,
bone
please.
to pick up about this film.
Carry on, please.
Right. The mysterious rider with the mirrored helmet.
Yeah, the journalist.
He's riding a electric bike.
Okay.
And I've said this before, as a person that rides a motorcycle, even if it was electric, if the electrics went out, the bike would not come to a full stop.
Oh, really?
No.
Okay.
Because it would run.
Oh, because it's got wheels. Isn't
Yeah, otherwise how did Kiki push it around? How did she wheel it?
Sure. Yeah, fine.
So he would have had to put the brakes on to go over the handlebars.
Do you know if he didn't?
Well, why would you suddenly put your brakes on and go over the handlebars? Nobody's going to do that.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Why is there an alien?
I don't know. Why is there an alien? And why does it look like a spaceship?
Okay, well, we'll get into that. I think there are aspects of faith at play, right?
Okay.
And I feel that these are probably the most nebulous points.
Right.
I think much to say that, you know, some of the themes lose their momentum at times, and
Yeah.
I agree with that. And I feel that these are nebulous, and I feel that these are feelings that Jordan Peele has.
Right, yeah.
You have the fella named Angel.
Yes.
You have a literal winged eye in the sky.
You do.
Which hovers above it hovers above into the and hoovers up people into the heavens. So I think one of the key themes is exploitation, and I'm going to make another point about faith in a moment. But the Haywoods endure a stunning trauma with the death of their father. Jupe endures whatever happened to him with Gordy, the crazy ape on that set. I would say that Angel is enduring a life of failures.
Right.
And the horses are exploited.
Yes.
Certainly by Jupe, where perhaps they deserve, where they certainly deserve more respect, raising further questions of humanity. But I don't think this would necessarily exploit so well.
If you think about it, also Gordy, he's exploited.
He's exploited.
He's another animal that's exploited.
Antlers, the camera guy, briefly brings up Siegfried and Roy.
He does, yeah.
Siegfried and Roy were a
Las Vegas.
Yes, they were a duo who would perform with tigers
in Las Vegas.
In Las Vegas, essentially exploiting those animals.
Yeah.
Only for Siegfried to have been killed by one. He was ripped apart by one, wasn't he? As such, I think there's that theme of you have to be showing more respect to animals.
Yeah.
Humans need to be doing that.
Especially wild animals, because I mean, if you think about it, a chimpanzee is not a house-trained pet.
Jean Jacket,
you know.
Yeah,
horses aren't.
Horses,
you know.
So
they're wild animals.
They're wild animals, and they deserve to be treated with respect.
They deserve
OJ
respect.
knows that. OJ kind of lives by that.
He does, yeah.
But Jean Jacket is if those are animals, and Gordy and if Gordy and the horses are all animals, Lucky and all that lot, then Jean Jacket is an animal, and it's an unpredictable and powerful animal that needs to be treated with respect. A horse you cannot wrangle.
Yes,
I guess. What do you think of Jeep?
I think he's a very interesting character. I mean, I like Stephen Yeun.
Yeah,
sorry. Yes, I do like him. I liked him ever since I saw him in The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
I like lots of things, with him in and stuff. I think it's a very interesting character for him to play, because he's playing a very white character. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because he's a sort of cowboy, isn't he?
There were Asian cowboys?
Well, there are, but I mean, it's...
There were.
Okay.
There were black cowboys.
Well, they were, yeah. But I mean, it's a very interesting character for him to... I suppose, go into this from a child actor,
Sure.
going into being a cowboy.
It's a bit odd.
Yeah,
Sure.
a little bit. And the fact that he keeps all these things from this traumatic time, where you think he would want to forget about it.
Well, I think he's dealing with it while exploiting it.
Yeah.
So
I mean, is this any kind of catharsis that he's keeping this stuff?
he was a child actor that was used by the mean old system and then dumped out.
Yeah.
And he experienced a wild trauma, but not only that wild trauma of Gordy, but also the trauma of being.
Or maybe it's going into being used. People
used
that
and
are
spat
used.
out.
People that are used use other people, maybe.
But that's the thing again. It's being used and spat out. But
Yeah.
he's kind of dealing with
doing
that
that.
and trying to profit from that.
And he's doing that himself with the
He's
horses.
making a spectacle of it and making a spectacle of what he does to the horses.
Yeah.
And making a spectacle and exploiting Jean Jacket by sacrificing these horses. But he himself was used, dumped out, and exploited.
So maybe it's commenting on the fact that people that are used they don't know anything better than to use other people or use other things.
It could be, it just begets that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that constant horrible news feed of just all this sort of prolonging and really staring at the tragedy.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
A horrible TV news
Everyone
thing.
loves a car crash, don't they? They love to stare at a car crash.
Yeah, it's the weirdest thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just... There's also... Sorry, just to get into it, there's also another thing of black history perhaps being overlooked. So, M explains that the first film star was a black jockey.
That's right.
Technically the first film star.
Yes.
Which was a black jockey, which appears to have been frequently raised up by the deceased father. And possibly forgotten about or overlooked.
Yes, because they didn't remember. They remembered who filmed it, but they don't remember who the jockey in the actual.
Sure, I think this feeds into another aspect about representation and misrepresentation.
Yes.
About how images can be deceiving.
Yeah.
And that kind of smoke and mirrors aspect. The cloud is there, but it's not. It's deceiving. The cloud is there, but it's not really a cloud, right?
Yeah.
Interesting. I'm disappointed you didn't like it. Do you think there's a Spielberg aspect to this?
Yes, a little bit.
Yeah.
Close Encounters.
It's Spielberg via
Ish.
Jordan
Yeah.
Peele, of course.
Yeah.
But I think there's the most Spielberg
I do.
he's ever done.
Yeah.
What do you think of the aesthetics? How do you think it looks?
I think it's a good-looking film.
It's a very good looking film.
Very good-looking film.
Sure.
I think all of Jordan Peele's films are very good-looking. Very
sure.
good, visually interesting to watch.
They used Hoyte van Hoytema, who is best known for being Chris Nolan's cinematographer.
Oh, okay, awesome.
He has this knack of being able to nail this epic look.
Yeah.
Because Chris Nolan has those epic
He
looks.
does, doesn't he? Yeah, of course.
And he captures the various landscapes, those beautiful deserts and the massive skies so well. What do you think of the design of Jean Jacket?
Well,
the giant alien in the sky.
It's not the most exciting thing, is it? I mean, it's just
I think it's quite cool.
It's just a UFO thing that sucks people up.
Giant octopus.
I did like it. I like
thing.
it when the thing actually comes out. I like the design of that. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. As the cloud, it's not that.
The giant eye in the sky isn't the most impressive.
Not that great,
but when it
yeah.
shows its true self,
when it turns into the giant jellyfish thing.
I think it's supposed to be like a realistic depiction of what a angel is is described as being.
Oh, okay.
So it's a giant eye with wings. It's a giant sort of mix of eyes with wings, right?
Right. Oh, I see. Like the original sort of
The
depictions
biblical,
of an angel. Yes. Very scary looking thing. Yeah.
Very. Yeah. It's not like the beautiful white kind of
coming down in the flowing gown and the angel wings. No.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So verdict, unless you have anything else.
Well, it's not for me.
Okay.
But I honestly think it's a decent film. I wouldn't, I can't say anything bad about Jordan Peele because I think he's great. So
I think it's messy, but I really enjoy the film.
yeah, I mean, I'm prepared to watch any more of his films because I like his films in general.
I think NOPE stands for Not of Planet Earth.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yeah.
So, do you have any recommendations?
Like you said, I would think like Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Definitely.
I think M. Night Shyamalan's Signs is pretty...
Signs, yes.
Good one. I think The Mist is pretty good, about a mysterious thing lurking in the shadow. Well,
possibly, yeah.
I suppose lurking in the shadows, but also plain sight.
Yeah.
This kind of threat.
Yeah.
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 Join us again when we discuss Quentin Tarantino's Kill Bill Volumes 1 and 2.
This is his fourth film, isn't it?
Well, that's the thing.
Is this the fourth film by Quentin Tarantino?
He's a cheater because he's saying he's going to make a certain amount of movie. He's saying he's already made that many movies.
Yeah, because he's counting this as one, isn't he?
He's counting this as one.
So he's actually making 11
Oh, he
films.
naughty boy.
He's a liar.
He clever boy.
Quentin Tarantino, you're a liar.
So Kill Bill Volumes 1 and 2, Jason hates the second volume.
I'm not keen on... Well, do you know something? I haven't seen it in years, so I don't know if actually I'll like it more now.
Sure. I think it's the better of the two.
I mean, come on, the last time I saw it was probably in about 2005.
Oh, yeah,
so...
I'm just making fun of
you. Stop making fun of me!
You can find us on social media.
You can find us on Instagram as Cinemattraction_podcast. And we'll be letting you know what films we'll be checking out each week.
Yep.
So, and also you can find John on Letterboxd as...
Rat Bastard. How can our fine listeners find you on Letterboxd?
You can find me on Letterboxd as Kerja_Relon.
How's that spelled?
KERJA_RELON.
Slongafal. Okay, later.
Okay, thanks for joining us. Bye, bye.
Got a mountain for a face.